or else flybox. Today we're going to tie the gurgling frog. It gets its lineage from the Gartside gurgler. You'll see the likeness in the way we fold the foam. But it's got a couple variations. Very effective for me here in the lily pads. And I enjoy tying it and fishing it as well. Let's go over how I tie it. I start out with a size 2 Gamakatsu stinger hook and 210 denier Danville black tying thread. We're going to start our thread behind the eye, and we're going to build a base the length of the shank. And then we're going to bring it back. When I'm tying these, I want something for adhesion, so I give 3 quick layers, and then I bring it back pretty much in line with the tip of the hook. First material we're going to tie in is olive bucktail. I'm going to grab a section. I'll show you here. It's hard to describe if you're looking for a size. Maybe 1/4 inch of hair. And I don't stack it, but I do even out the tips a little bit. If I got some obvious flyers, I'll bring them back, and I'll hand sort it. That's about it. I'm going to measure this about twice the length of the hook, which is about right there. Bring my butt ends, and we're going to tie it in right there. Alright, next material we're going to tie in are the legs. I use dark barred ginger. I got some grizzly variant. I use pale watery or dun grizzly, anything barred. I stick with this because of the theme of the frog, but you want the barring and the feathers, and you want them fairly large, and I take 2 of them and I marry them together. I'm going to tie them in on the near side first, about the length of the deer hair. And a handful of wraps. And then take 2 more. Marry them together. Measure them about the same length. Give 2 or 3 wraps. Hold them in place. If I have to tweak them a little bit, now's the time to do it. And tie them down. And we're going to clip off those butts. I don't have to trim real close. It's not that picky. And bind them in place. At this point, I'm going to bring my thread back to about 2 eye lengths behind the eye, and I'm going to apply some Sally Hansen's and coat the shank a little bit there. Get a decent layer on. And I'm going to take some green foam. This is 1/8 inch, I believe, green foam, tying foam. I clip a small wedge to the front just to get it started neatly. I'll place the tip of that about an eye length behind and pinch it. Grab it with the tying thread. And then I'm going to wrap back. I'm going to take that back to the tip of the hook as well. And then I'm going to bind it down with the thread. Next material we're going to tie in is Crawdad Brown Woolly Bugger Chenille. It's from Cabela's. A little bit of Antron in it. And tie that in place. Wrap our thread back forward to the front. And we're going to palmer that. And bring that all the way to the front. Keep a hold of it better than that. And we're going to tie it off. Trim our butt in. And we're going to just bring our thread right back through that chenille. Don't worry about it. And the next material we're going to tie in is our legs. I use chestnut barred silicone silly legs. I think these are Orvis. You can find them under pretty much any name. Just barred silicone legs. Chestnut or a light colored brown. I'm going to fold it around, take two of them, fold them around my tying thread, bring the legs up to the top, wrap it down, grab my little bite there, and that's going to keep them in place. Separate them a little bit. They'll probably usually always be a little bit separated. Then you're going to bring your thread back to just short of the end of the chenille. And we're going to tie another set of legs in. I take an even bite around my thread, slide it up the thread, put it in place at the top, grab the bite formed, and then separate them, give a couple more wraps. Okay, at this point you got two sets of legs pointing to the rear, and you're going to bring your foam forward and split the rear ones, forcing the rear ones to the front. You'll see why in a little bit. You're going to pull that forward, pinch behind the head, keep it in place, make sure you leave a little gap there for the eye. Then you're going to fold it back on itself with a head about the same length as the width of the foam, and you're going to bind down in the same place right there. Next you're going to do a quick whip finish. I got a short whip finish tool, so you got to manipulate the head a little bit if that's the same boat as that you're in. Give a whip finish. You're going to clip off your thread at this point. And I bring my foam about a third of the way into the body. I'm going to cut it off. And I'm going to cut a little bit of a V, delta, back. And you see your legs are going to be crossed. You want the rear legs to be over top of the front ones. You want them to be pulled forward. And then I clip them off pretty much about the length of the body. All four of them. And that's what gives you the profile of the legs and the action of the fly in the water. Now to finish this fly off, I use black permanent marker because it is a frog, so we want to give some spots and some eyes. You know this only catches fishermen. And I like to flip it over and do eyes on the bottom too, so the fish don't feel left out. And then I take the red permanent marker and we give that red frog face that we've all seen on hula poppers and frog poppers. And again, that's just cosmetics and it's for us. And there it is. The gurgling frog. Excellent pattern in lilies. Brings everything to the top. Very successful for me. Hope it adds to your box as well. Good luck. See you on the water.